live. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our talk show. Number one talk show in this room. I'm Josh.
I am DJ. Some days.
The number one talent in this room. We took a vote. It was unanimous.
We took a vote. It was.
I lost.
It was a lot easier to figure out.
Process of elimination.
That's right. Luckily, there wasn't that many people to eliminate. Just you.
I know. I voted against me too. I thought I would have crushed the audition, but I didn't.
Bro, that reminds me. You remember Pirates of the Caribbean, right?
Yeah.
You remember where they're in the council with Jack's dad sitting in the, and there's like
With the coins.
Right, and they're like, do you know what the problem is with a pirate vote? Every pirate votes for himself.
And he voted for Elizabeth.
And he voted for Elizabeth, and it fucked everybody up. And then he turns around and goes, so am I to take it we are not going to stick to the code? And his father broke the fucking guitar string. Right?
The book.
And looked up. And they're like, nope, she's queen. That's it.
She's the queen of pirates.
Well, because he already shot one guy.
One guy.
For
Did he go through the book and said we had to vote or something and sat back down?
Yeah.
And broke the guitar string.
Like, well, it's like I always loved it because he's like the trick, Jackie, isn't living forever; it's living with yourself. You know, because I guess his dad's fucking old as shit. What now?
Did it again. Please use keyframe frequency.
Did it just stop the show altogether?
No, we'll just do that.
Oh, so we're just gonna glitch the whole time?
Sometimes. I can't fix it when we're going. I don't know if I can.
Can't fix it while we're going.
Nope, won't let me touch anything.
Oh well, I'll just have to wait until Wednesday or.
That's what I'm saying. It tells me to use the graphics card like you're supposed to. I got the update and then it won't play.
It just doesn't.
So then I go back to the software. It's like your keyframes are off.
It just doesn't want to deal with you.
That's it.
It's like, fuck you and your sauce. I don't know. My computer's broken. It won't bring up the show on Facebook. Just goes blank when I do it. But that's okay. See, that's why we need prep time for tomorrow. Don't forget we have audio versions on Anchor FM, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasting needs. I think that's just my favorite part.
He's done now, guys. Thanks for watching.
That's it. I've done my favorite bit. I can go now. Also, don't forget it's October. And if you don't know it's October, like you get it right. Like some people watch our show, they're like, "Fuck, what month is it?" Oh wait, our talk show will tell us. Turn it on.
Thank God for Tuesdays.
Thank God for Tuesdays, or else I'd never know what day it was. But it's October, of course, which means it's Halloween. And it also means that it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Mm-hmm. And as such, our foundation for this month is the National Breast Cancer Foundation. You know, it kind of seems like, it should be. But of course, the national.
That means all over the U.S.
The link will be down below. But I mean, it's really a problem all over the world, right? It's like regional. Right. But I'm just saying, like breast cancer hits, it
doesn't matter what
mothers, daughters,
what state, where you're from, what race you are. It doesn't.
Right. It doesn't care.
It actually doesn't even matter what gender you are.
Right. So yeah, because men can get breast cancer too.
You can.
But it's a good foundation. They do research, help people out. Do what they can. So you check it out. The link will be down below.
It will be. Today's random fact is a random one. Riding a roller coaster can help you pass kidney stones.
I feel like
hopefully not on a roller coaster.
Right, just piss yourself.
Start pissing like ow, ow, ow.
Everybody behind you is getting covered with wee. Everyone under the coaster.
Got hit with a stone.
Right. You go home, take your shorts off. There's just a stone, just in your blood.
Yeah. Stone. Thank you, roller coaster. Thank you, Splash Mountain.
Right.
That's the one you have to go on because all the water.
What did you do today? I weed in Splash Mountain. I don't know. I just I feel like the roller coaster bouncing around, helping it go through, is like it's in your body now because it just blew through your fucking kidneys. You know, like just a sidewall.
It looked like Magneto just like
just pulling metal out of that dude's body. You remember that from that movie?
X-Men 2. All the iron, he had extra iron in his blood.
Yeah, I was like, he just pulled it straight out of the dude. Like I was like, oh, that's fucked up.
Just do little research, like how can we say Magneto? And Mystique's like, well, we'll just put iron in his blood, and when see if that doesn't fool the scanners. Like
I got glass guns.
Yeah.
You know, one-off guns, like that'd help.
Well, they've always learned. Apparently, when they tried to reboot it, the young Magneto was in the Pentagon. Everything was plastic.
I just don't see like that happening.
The kidney stone's just bouncing. Now you're in more pain.
Right.
Like
worse off than when you started.
What's his name cured him from the kidney stones and what's it? The Green Mile. Tom Hanks.
Oh, Tom Hanks had kidney stones?
Yeah, remember he couldn't piss and the giant grabbed him and all that stuff came out of his mouth?
That's nice of him. I'd have left his stupid ass like that.
Well, no, he didn't kill those girls.
Oh. Hey, I found the Facebook one.
It was just like what happened with Boo Radley and Kill a Mockingbird. All right, you ready for the news? EJ's favorite part. Who doesn't like the news?
I don't know if I'm ready for the news today.
All over the place.
Oh, did you hear we're getting some cold fronts down here?
We got one yesterday. Did you feel it?
Yeah, I walked out. It was cool. I was like,
the wind. Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck's going on here?
Fall.
Right. Because we don't get winter.
I heard cold front like the high is 80, and I was like, I don't know if you guys know what cold front means.
Well, I mean, when it's
apparently it was 50 or 60 in Central Florida.
When it's 96 degrees,
it's 80
here all the time, and the worst part is like if you go from like here in West Palm where we are, and just drive to Orlando,
it's colder.
It's a 20-degree difference.
If you go to Okeechobee,
it's about a 10-degree. Yeah, but it's crazy. So like when we were driving to Maine and stuff, like I was just sitting there on the day because most cars nowadays have a temperature gauge on it. Yeah. Tell you how cold outside is, and I'm just sitting there watching the temperature fall away. As we're heading up there.
I had a similar experience when I was driving to Tennessee in the back of a truck. My legs kept getting colder.
my balls were shrinking, so I could tell that
we went from Florida, nice 70 degrees.
Right.
I see icing on mountains, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that picture of like the generic mountains that they have, and there's like snow on the top. Yeah, that's what you were seeing as you were. It's like, oh, that's real,
I saw on the side of the mountain and peeked out the fucking thing. And I saw the icing from the water coming down the mountain, frozen.
Right. Well, you hadn't really
see that one morning in Tennessee.
You hadn't really been out of Florida really much.
West Virginia.
Yeah, but
that's when it was raining in the valley, and we went to church in the mountain, and the rain turned to snow.
Right.
So we were elevated.
Yeah. You remember?
And I threw my first snowball at Lewis.
You remember the one day we went up the side of the mountain in Dad's truck,
and it rained. And it was snow. It was snowing. It was snow on the ground.
Yeah,
but it wasn't where we were.
No, not where we started at least.
No.
Or
the day we went job hunting in the first day of spring, and it was snow outside.
Right.
I was like.
Right, it's like, hey, go look for a job, but
open the door and
but there's snow, but there's snow everywhere, like.
And it's April.
And right, Well, I mean, the crazy thing about it is like, it wasn't like it was crazy, right? Like it was just 2 foot here, 2 foot there.
And it was shade. And the sun came up and melted.
Right, and then the sun would come up and the snow would melt.
I went outside when it snowed and I let it hit my face. It was great. I love this. I love the snow.
I used to take my favorite is remember the beast blanket.
Mm-hmm.
I had this beast blanket. It was probably about 2 inches thick. It was
you go back on the porch.
Right. It was just a little bit smaller than my wife's big ass blanket quilt that she got from Maine. She loves that fucking thing, by the way. That's her favorite. I'm gonna have to drive all the way to Maine if that thing ever goes bad.
To go get another one.
To go get another one because they don't sell those here.
No need to.
Right. But So I used to take the big beast blanket and I'd go out in the snow and I'd make like a little, you know, dome, and I had a couple little things I'd set on my legs to give it, you know, and then I'd fucking fog it out.
Open it.
Right.
You had a tent.
You know, just hot box myself for a little bit, and then when it'd get too hot, I'd let some cold air in and shut it back up, and I'd sit on that damn cart, that truck seat.
Now, but Tennessee will trick you, especially in like the spring. We had to go to a flea market at 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's 42 degrees. And like I'm used to, like in Florida when the sun comes up, it gets hotter.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee, that bitch jumped 40 degrees.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a big jump. All right, from 42 to 82. That's a big fucking jump.
You know. Well,
I'm like, whoa.
Then you got to remember, so we physically lived on the side of a mountain.
We did.
Right, and we
below the river.
Right, or above we lived below
the river.
You know,
People lived on the river.
Right, so like we were higher up, so it was cooler for us automatically. You know.
And then when it rained and get colder, it was weird.
Yeah, and not heat back up.
One morning, it was like 7 o'clock. I went outside, and you could see the snow on the mountains across from us in the east.
Yeah.
And then the sun came up and melted them. But like, when the sun was coming up over the mountain, and you could see the back layer, and you could see the snowfall, the first snowfall in the morning.
I'm telling you, it looked like that.
The generic thing.
That generic picture.
Until the sun came up, and then you see that bitch melting.
Right. You know. But
Tennessee, don't you get mad at Florida? Like, they do the weather. Everything's blue but us, and we're orange.
Well, up near Georgia and stuff, they get snow. They get a little bit of snow and stuff like that.
The whole U.S. In California, it'd be cold. Florida, red.
But it's just so the way Florida is, right?
Well, the ground's hot.
Well, because we're surrounded by water pretty much on every side, but that one. Okay.
Oh, up top, yeah.
Right, and it starts thinning out towards the bottom, which means it gets closer, and the heat, right, from being so close to the equator makes it that way. We just don't get
even
cold
fucking
fronts.
Texas is cold. It snowed in Texas last year, remember?
Yeah,
For
but
10 days.
that was up towards the top of Texas, like.
No, I think it was it was like in the middle. They never got it before, and they hit it, and they're like, "What the fuck do we do? Why is it snowing? The world's ending."
It was freezing up pipes, busting.
Yeah, remember they had the wrong piping.
Busting people's because I mean they had never
have the code for it.
Right, if it got real cold here today,
it would do it.
It'd do the same thing.
It would bust the pipes.
Right, Florida.
Not New York.
Well, except for the Floridians who are from up north,
Or the old ones.
Right,
used copper, didn't we, back in the day?
Right, but there's also tricks and stuff you can do, right? So if you leave the water just trickling, like running a little bit, it keeps the flow moving.
So it can't freeze.
Right, so it doesn't freeze up as bad. It still freezes, but just not to like bursting.
When you turn the water on and next thing you know, your bathroom's busted.
Right, like.
Because you had to back up with the pressure.
Big geyser in the background just because, so. The weather here in Florida is nothing like anywhere else.
But we love it at 70. The 50 to 70 is perfect.
We are a tropic state, at least towards the bottom of it. Oh, yeah, because like I said, Orlando gets hot and stuff, but it still gets a little bit better weather.
Cold at night.
Than right.
Like when they say it's gonna be 40 at night, it's gonna be 40 at night.
Right. Well, and like that's the difference with your Tennessees, your Georgias, your North Carolinas, anything in the middle of the country. When they get cold front, they get cold front. It's like 40
but
inches.
Ours drops all the way to right before dusk, like dawn.
Right.
And that's the coldest hour. And then the wind blows and it's cold. The fucking air is cold.
Right, because there's so
humidity.
much
There's still humidity.
Right, there's so much humidity and precipitation in the air. It's the water
freezes.
being in the air. When it gets cold here, it's cold.
I think it snowed in the 70s once.
Right. And see, just like that, right? It never gets cold and rains at the same time.
No, if you look up in the coldest day, there's no clouds.
Right.
Because clouds trap in heat. We learned something.
Well, it's not.
That's why it's cold in the desert.
It's not only that. It's just because, like, so what causes the humidity and stuff in the air is the heat, right? Without the heat, there's not as much. Like, there's still a lot of right. There's still a lot of humidity, but there's no rain. That's why you find, like, on your hottest days and stuff, it'll start to.
is the rain because it was snow until it hit Florida. So if it starts pouring down rain in winter, that's a cold front.
Melted.
And then it'll be clear for like 3 days, like nice and sunny, and be cold as fuck.
All right, I've wasted enough of your time talking about
Being cold.
So you can go ahead and start the news.
Oh, right over the weekend, DC had a fandom event online, of course, due to Corona. And they dropped a whole bunch of DC stuff. One of them is Black Adam teaser trailer reveals The Rock in God mode.
Oh, they physically have footage of The Rock now.
Being Black Adam, yep.
See, originally when they dropped...
It was like God of War kind of shit.
Well, it wasn't... It was more of your comic book, like, concept type
That's
thing.
what I'm saying, like the first God of Wars were like that. When
Right.
they did the concept art.
They were showing you that, hey, we plan on using The Rock. This is kind of what The Rock can look like.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, you know, that's great. Let's throw this out, do sort of like a Deadpool thing and see if we can, you know, gauge how people feel about it.
Corona hit too at the same time.
Right. So that, you know, they couldn't really get, well, plus he was in the middle of production for Jungle Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
You know, The Rock stays busy.
No, he's always busy.
You know, he
Since
right
4 a.m. I know he does an 8-hour workout before he even starts his day.
doing. He's also got that show Titan Games. You know, he's got things he does. He's a lot like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's
Busy.
right. He's busy, and especially because he's in that prime.
Scenes. They showed the Justice Society of America.
Right.
So they had the Green Lantern. They had Dr. Fate. You know who plays Dr. Fate? Fucking 007, Pierce Brosnan from the GoldenEye. But the guy who played 007 in the 90s.
The old guy, not the current one.
No, the old Pierce. He played in the 90s.
Because
He's the one that gave us on the Nintendo 64 GoldenEye.
the current.
Oh, he's still going.
Well, no, this is his last one.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Though.
The new
He's
movie
not.
that come out. He's
not,
done.
But the older one, Pierce, he plays
But-
Dr. Fate.
You know, as far as 007 goes, to me,
It's like Doctor Who.
right? You know, Sean Connery is my 007.
You take off your butties.
Okay. Right? Like.
Well, Pierce was mine. Mine was the 90s. Well,
You
even
know.
Octopussy was, I think, Sean Connery.
Well, and I mean, you know, my dad was an older generation. He watched the older stuff, so I inherently watched.
He was my Highlander.
You know, and I mean, like what?
Oh, he
yeah,
had
but
no
it's
beard
like
either. He had no goatee. He was clean cut.
once you watch a Sean Connery like 007, you're really just kind of like, what are the other guys fucking doing?
Why is this guy American?
Right? Like, right? Why is this guy American?
They're
Why?
playing Doctor Who.
It feels like they're trying so goddamn hard to
What was
be
that? It's
Sean
just a
Connery,
code
you
name,
know?
like the Doctor.
right. But the difference between 007 and the Doctor
The Doctor stays the same.
is you knew the Doctor was still him.
007 is just a different code name.
But like you could still, even through the different personalities,
He's still the Doctor.
right? You could still see the Doctor and his like the actors make it a point to, you know, really see it in their faces that, you know, the veracity behind it. It's like when we moved from Edward Norton in the Hulk. Is that right?
Yeah.
To
The one we have now,
to
Mark
Ruffalo, right? Where you can see, right? There's something deeper in Mark Ruffalo, right?
Yeah.
He makes it a point to wear it on his face that he's not scared for his sake. He's scared for yours,
Yeah.
right? You know,
Edward Norton was just worried about having sex.
right? Edward Norton's
He's like,
just
shit, beep, beep, beep.
that's right. You
Oh,
know,
man.
he that's all he cares about is like, damn it, I can't have sex. Was that, you know,
Where's my love?
right? You
I
know,
want to be cured. I want to be cured. I want to be
trying to learn how to control it. And it's like that first Avenger movie when he said that shit. Just was like,
secret.
I got dark. You know,
I'm always mad.
right. I put a bullet in my mouth and the other guy spit it back
There
out.
was a scene for that, but
Yeah.
Disney didn't put it in. But they did. They shot a scene when he actually.
That'd have been
and it was actually
That'd have
during
been cool
the
to see.
Incredible Hulk.
Oh,
It was during the Edward Norton movie that he did that.
yeah. To me, Edward Norton, like, I didn't like the first guy either, right?
I didn't either. He had big ears.
But Edward Norton was just too goddamn small, right? Mark Ruffalo was always an inherently tall guy. You know, he was tall and kind of lengthy, you know, in his
Edward
own
Norton
right.
matched the comics of Bruce Banner because he was a skinny scientist. They made the point in the comic to make him extra skinny.
He was only 4'1", so it's like.
Oh yeah, he was taller. But in the comics, they made it a point to make Bruce Banner skinny-ish. Well, because that way, when he turns into the Hulk, he's massive.
Right.
So it's not like the Hulk. It's not like the Rock turning into the Hulk.
Well, because that's what they did when I can't remember his name now. Lou Ferrigno, right? When Lou Ferrigno actually played the Hulk in the TV series, he was a big guy.
Yeah, this painted him
so
green.
You needed a smaller actor so you could see the real size change, right, of him. You know,
we watched the episode. I mean, I couldn't help but to laugh because it was a different time.
Right.
So this kid had to bring his dad a beer, but I guess his dad was abusing him or something. But like, the kid wasn't listening. Like, get him a beer.
Right.
The kid would hesitate. The mom would come out. All he did was ask for a beer. He wasn't being violent.
Right. Just grab me a beer out of the fridge.
Kid fucking drop the beer. And you wonder why you get hit.
Right.
And then I was watching it with someone, and at work, and they're like, "What are you talking about? Like, if you just got the fucking beer, he wouldn't have got hit." And then the Hulk came in, and everyone, the mom does the thing, like, "Don't hurt him."
It was your fault he beat you.
But no, he watches the news thing saying the kid saved in the story, the kid saved the dad from something. And the dad looks like watching it, looks mad. He's drinking his beer, and he goes, "Hey, boy, give me a beer." That's it.
It's.
And then he would hesitate, and then his wife comes in and goes, "Oh, it's almost dinner. How about you have one then?" He goes, "I want one now." And she's like, "Okay, I'll bring one." He goes, "No, I asked the boy to bring me one."
It's crazy, right? How people like justify certain flaws over like so you think, right? Everything's quantifiable. Okay, it's like God of War. All right, you watch you play God of War. He's calling him boy the whole time. Now he's strict. Okay, I don't think he ever laid his hands on him.
But he stayed humble too.
You know,
because he was like, when the kid found out he was a god,
right?
He's like, "Oh, we can do this." He goes, "No, we can't."
Well, because he had already been down that path.
But he's like, "We can't just do what we want."
Okay, he had already killed all the gods from his realm.
He did the whole revenge thing.
You know, and it's like
then he fell in love.
You know, well, it wasn't even so much that like when he fell in love, he was struggling. Okay, he had literally left one realm to go to another, to try to you know let it go, right? Find peace. You know, and that's when he met Loki's mom and stuff like that. But
she was a witch,
right? He was in that turmoil area where he's like, you know what, I don't want to just keep murdering gods.
Put his, what's it called away?
You know, right? The blades, the chaos blades. You know, so it's like, it's hard to think like you know, some things are okay, some things aren't.
Yeah,
like
when you're being too strict.
You know, it's just all crazy. Just call him dumbass. You know.
I put my foot in your ass.
Right.
And after the heart attack, he's like, "Oh, let me guess, he was holding it all in." He goes, "No, he wasn't releasing enough." There's more in there. He looked at. There's more in there. Oh, he's like, "Fun time is over," and he's like, "Where was I for fun time?" Oh, that Eric Foreman.
Yeah, I feel that.
Put the helmet on. Put the helmet on.
You know, right? To me, right, as long as I don't physically beat your ass, you should really consider that a
we never saw Red Foreman do it, but like you can tell.
That's right. He never once put his foot in anyone's ass.
Once in Korea.
You know, but once in Korea. But I mean, like, you took it seriously. You know, you're like, I need to pay attention to what.
Get my shit together.
Right, like
before he puts his foot in my ass.
And the worst part is, like, half the time it's like they didn't want to say it, but Red was right.
He was
right. Like you know, they didn't want to go, "God damn it," you know, Red's right.
No, they didn't want.
But by the end of the episode, you're like, "Oh fuck, man." Red wasn't talking shit. He was trying to set you straight.
The scene I sent you.
Yeah.
Pride. What are you proud of?
You know, that's when he left Donna, wasn't it? Like
he wouldn't take Donna back.
He wouldn't take
Casey.
Donna back
After Casey.
Yeah,
he's like, you wouldn't take her back as a pride? What are you proud of?
Right. Like
your looks?
Yeah.
You're not an athlete.
I feel that sometimes. Like I'm just like, God damn it, you know.
That was right though. Alden and Kenny. Oh, you're just a big. I like how he was softy with Hyde, but not really like Eric. Like we went to the birthday party, and he's like, "Don't tell Eric we had this moment because he's out when he's 18."
That's because Hyde was tough most of the time, right? There were very few incidents where Hyde was, you know, in himself, like when it came to talking about his dad and stuff, that kind of upset Hyde. You know, because
can you try to prowl?
Right.
Like, leave it alone.
Right.
You go talk to him, and I don't want to talk to him.
You don't need to talking to him. You know, it's you know, like I said, to me, Red was.
He's a good dad.
Yeah, you know.
He never did hit Eric though.
Right.
But like he still gave him that firm talk, and he cared.
I think he smacked him upside the head a few times.
He's being a dumbass.
You know,
not as much as Koso.
But getting smacked upside the head to me was never like.
Yeah, but they were that family though. That was like that good TV show because everyone went to them for advice. Like they were parents of everybody.
Right.
And he's like, why is there still kids in this goddamn house? Eric's not even here. But they would go, Miss Foreman, can I need your help with something? Or
you know,
Jackie tried to talk to Red one time because his dad was in jail.
Right. Yeah.
And he's like, what do you want? What do you want me to do? I just want to sit down and drink my beer.
I don't know why you want.
My favorite episode is when Kitty was going through menopause, and he was like, I went to Nam, and this is worse. All right, guys.
I'd rather be in the grass getting shot at. Getting fucking shot at than having to deal with this woman's attitude and sporadicness.
Like,
you know,
we're under fire right now, guys. Whatever she wants, you give her. Do you understand me? He's talking to Hyde and Eric.
It's like a fucking bank robbery. Is you get them their demands
whatever
so they don't hurt nobody.
Understand me if you make her cry.
I take that attitude now, to be honest. Like you don't understand. Like I try to take it a step further and I get yelled at for it. Right. Like if she complains about or you know, oh, this is here, you know, I fix it. Right. It's like, okay. The other night we were eating Chinese food, right? We were having some Chinese food, got home late. I wanted chopsticks because I, you know, like practicing with the chopsticks sometimes. I wanted some chopsticks, so she got chopsticks, right? And then she's trying to eat her shit and can't do it, you know. She's like, oh, they didn't put a fork in, right? So I just immediately, out of instinct, I got up.
Got a fork.
Right, and went to go get a fork. And as I'm getting a fork, then I received a lecture about I didn't ask you to get this fork. Right?
Yes.
Nobody told you to get up.
Yes.
Right? This was the lecture I got.
For problem solving?
And you know, she's like, I don't want it, right? And continued to try to use the chopsticks. So I just set the fork in the
out of principle?
Out of irritation. So I just set the fork in the box, you know, and then a few seconds later, she got pissed and fucking slammed down the chopsticks and grabbed the fork.
Thank God I was there.
Right. Thank God I was there, you know. And she's like, well, but you complain about doing that stuff later. What I complain about, right, isn't so much the doing stuff. Like every once in a while, I'm just like, fuck, I don't want to, right? But 9 times out of 10, if she complains, I try to, you know, do something. Right? I guess I'm the type of person, I don't like hearing people repeat themselves.
I want to hear it in the first place.
Right? Well, yeah, I damn sure don't want to hear it in the first place. Right. So like, I try to do preventative measures. Right? Like I know if I leave the sink full, she's not going to be happy. Right? Because then she's got to come home. A, look at the dirty sink. B, figure out what to cook with.
She won't say anything, but she do that.
No, she says something.
Oh, she does?
Why are my dishes? No.
Where's dinner?
You can see it in her face, though. Like, she just looks at it, and I'm like, you know, fuck. You know,
Reminds me of the episode. Kid, he's like, "Red, am I smart? And we're gonna fight today. Is that what we're gonna do?
is that what you want?
You want to fight today? All right. Next news. Disney delays 6 MCU releases and removed 2 Marvel movies from the 2023 slate.
Just remove 2 whole movies.
Well, one was unnamed, and another one was Ant-Man and Wasp.
Another Ant-Man and Wasp.
What was the third one? That's the. They're thinking that they're gonna fight Kong, or
So,
whatever his name is from Loki.
You know what? Right. Iron Man, the movies, right? Were great movies up until kind of like the third one, you know?
What cartoony?
Right. Well, the third one, they were trying to make him more relatable, you know, like more deep.
Yeah.
Right. But
well, it's just after New York and.
Right. You know,
He's
but
having anxiety.
Thor, right? The second movie sucked altogether.
Dark World.
Like Dark World was just horrible. They shouldn't have made
she
it.
has an ether in her.
You know,
Mom died.
Right. Like oh, it was just horrible.
Loki fake died.
Right. Just you know,
You're just finding elves.
Right. Disney just too many deaths in one movie, you know, and too much bullshit, and just throw it out. Right. But the third one was good. You know, so you were happy for Ragnarok.
Well, the third one was basically the Hulk and fucking Thor.
You know, well,
It's literally Planet Hulk.
Right. It was supposed to be Planet Hulk, but you know,
They can't Hulk have his own movie, so they put the two together.
They did what they had. Right.
It's set up for Endgame or set up for Infinity War.
Yes. Well, because they were trying to move into space more, but they didn't know how to do it, and then
the planet blew up.
Right. Then they're like, "Well, we can't."
It's a realm, but it's a planet.
Right. We can't give you 2. You know, we can't give you the Hulk.
No.
Right.
Sony.
Sony,
Universal.
Because of Universal can't even touch the Hulk, and you know we can't do another standalone Thor movie. Because we fucked the second one up so bad, like we you know, there's nothing we can do about it.
You can collab pretty well when they did Civil War. Knowing it was the Captain America movie, they had everyone in it.
Right.
So it's like, okay, so we can just
do
a Thor and just
after Avengers, it was like they're like, we do have the money to pay these actors.
Yeah, let's just borrow. You know, let's borrow Hulk. We haven't seen him. We haven't seen him since Avengers.
But now my point of it, what I was trying to get at is, you know, Paul Rudd is a funny fucking dude.
Yeah.
He was good as Ant-Man, you know, except for
Captain America. That's what he said when he first met him in Civil War. Here you go, Captain America.
You know, he brings a lighter side to the MCU versus being the you know, the lame scientist that he was kind of in the. He wasn't so much lame.
Scientist was the first Ant-Man, but yes.
Well, yes, right, but that, you know, the second Ant-Man.
He's the second Ant-Man, yeah.
Right, you know, so it's a nice.
It's funny. Like, I call it a time heist. You gotta follow the rules. Don't run into yourself. Don't read an Omnimac. You're like, are you quoting Back to the Future?
Right. That was the funniest bit. I hope you're not basing the rules on Back to the Future right now, because I'd be worried.
They told me how time travel works. You tell me, like, where did you get your information? I don't know. Back to the Future, Time Cop,
right.
A Wrinkle in Time, and they tell me what happened. He goes, "You telling me Back to the Future is bullshit?"
It's either all a joke or it isn't.
It's time travel, baby.
Right. My favorite bit though, I think it had to be when
baby. He'll grow.
I think my favorite bit though had to be when Tony pulls up in the car. You turned him to a baby, didn't you? Right? And Cap's just like, amongst other. You don't remember that?
Yeah, he's like,
amongst other things.
Well, Captain America's like, huh?
Right, because yeah.
Like, how'd you know? That's because you're forcing time into him instead of putting time around it. It's okay.
Right.
I fixed it.
Because it's Tony Stark. He's smart as fuck.
Bro, that was
gives him the shield.
That's a legit reaction when he like inverted it, and it's like, diagram worked.
Yeah. Well, because you just invented time travel. You know, you're at that point. It's basically like you've had a panic attack. Right,
you're almost God.
Because you're starting to mess with things that you probably shouldn't, and like in his head to begin with is like, it's just not possible, right? There's no way that you could do it, or you even should,
You know,
right,
he just had
but
that little
curiosity
he
always
had an
gets the best
itch.
of Tony
He had a
Stark.
little itch. He's like, let me scratch it real quick, get it over with. Prove that you can't do it. Because he started doing the whole quantum realm thing because he's like, well, I was in the quantum realm. And the next thing you know, he did it and he goes, oh shit.
So they delayed 6 and removed 2 altogether.
Yeah, the only 2 movies standing alone is Eternals, which comes out in November. And then Spider-Man.
Which is, right.
In December. It's all locked
Which
in.
there's nothing they could do about that now.
But Doctor Strange,
you know,
Thor, Ant-Man, all of them get pushed back a year. Or like 6 months.
Just like that.
Apparently the corona really fucked everyone's shit up.
Or just put everything so far behind.
Well, some movies were done and some episodes had to be arranged. Like during The Winter Soldier, it was actually a virus. So they took that out because of corona.
Right.
You know, it's the scene with Doctor Strange and Wanda was supposed to be in WandaVision. They took that out.
Right. Well, which you know they do shit like that because they did with the
well, they were holding
Twin Towers.
They were holding the multiverse in so much until Spider-Man.
I actually know, like, the Twin Towers is one of the ones that they removed the scene, right? Because originally the scene was supposed to be him webbing up the Twin Towers and catching the helicopter.
Too. Yeah, Spider-Man 2.
Right. They took that out.
Sensitivity.
Right.
Same thing they did with the virus.
Lilo and Stitch, right? The anime, you know, Kim loves Lilo and Stitch.
They changed
it. They changed it from the. It wasn't even the Twin Towers, right? Because the building was curved. I think it was an Atlantic building or something like that.
Yeah.
But they changed it from the big ass building to the side of the mountain where the plane hits it and he uses the building to turn.
Yeah.
You know, took that right the fuck out.
Oh yeah.
Couldn't
change the oven to a box.
Right, you know. So sometimes they do things like that because they're like, oh, I don't want to trigger people. But then you have to look at the flip side where it's like, so like Rick and Morty, right?
Too soon.
Didn't give a fuck.
Well, they were going to that one place that had all the they were doing
they
did the World War II.
It's like, oh, we'll do a Pearl Harbor instead, you know, like instead of
anything in one day. I think that they didn't do the Twin Towers, did they?
No, they showed them.
I think it's like too soon.
Right, but they flew by.
They're like, eh.
You know,
like Pearl Harbor.
We'll do a Pearl Harbor instead. You know, like so it's, you know.
Oh, they went there.
Like what Dave Chappelle said, it's hard to be.
Oh, he has a new special out.
You know,
people are pissed about.
Yeah, some people are.
He's funny.
I thought it was fine, but.
Oh, you watched it?
Yeah.
Talking about he was against cancel culture and some other shit.
Yeah. That's cancel culture, transgender. He was just talking shit the whole time.
Good.
You know, but. All right, moving on. What we got next?
Women burnt by hot coffee sues Dunkin' store owner, says cruel employees mocked her. Apparently the lid wasn't on all the way and it spilled on her leggings and it forced her to strip in the parking lot while she was screaming and playing.
Okay, now let me tell you something, right? If you're... See, this is why I don't work places like that, right? Because if I'm in there, right, and I'm working and I'm making some people's coffee, and a poor lady spills coffee just like all over and I can see it.
You're gonna laugh, aren't
right?
You?
Well, no. I mean, maybe a little. But I'm going to get the lady, you know, maybe some napkins. Maybe some cool water to try to, you know, help her out so she's not just burning up. Like it, you know, maybe, hey, do you need me to call you 911? Right? Because that was a big cup of coffee or a tiny woman, you've just burnt the fuck out of yourself.
They did.
You know, like...
Kind of the lid wasn't on all the way and it spilled over.
And you know, a lot of... Like, I don't drink hot coffee, right? So I don't know... You know, how hot coffee gets anymore.
They're hot.
I know McDonald's don't do that shit. Like, McDonald's, they got fucked up the one time. Now you get lukewarm coffee. You don't get hot coffee. You know.
Get lukewarm chocolate.
That's right.
Not hot chocolate.
You know, they're like, well, fuck you. We're not going to get sued again. You know, I would assume Dunkin' Donuts would have the same type of policies or whatnot.
But what's hot to someone, right?
So.
Could have been a fresh prot.
Fresh prot?
Hot. Yeah. But it does say caution hot on the cups.
I'm sure it does.
That's not what
this one's cold coffee. It say caution cold. I caught frostbite in my fingers.
No. Brain freeze.
Oh, ooh. It's terrible. Damages. But no, like I get it, right? If you're a dick, stuff like that, you probably should be more careful. But in the same respect, lid should have been securely fastened on the fucking coffee, and you know it's really a catch-22. You don't know who to blame.
Yeah, I was gonna say once it leaves the store, is it?
There's blame to go around. You know, did you take the lid off to put some extra sugar or milk in it?
Did
you know,
hold it like this?
Right, like you don't know.
Because you're like, oh, this is too hot this way.
You know, don't know the situation. That was like the McDonald's situation. The lawyers had literally drug her through the mud like that, and that's just wasn't the case of what happened.
No, it spilled on her.
You know, it just it just fucking spilled.
Fucking 3rd-degree burn.
Right.
And that's a hot coffee.
Like, yeah, it was the poor lady's fault for being clumsy, but the coffee probably shouldn't have been that hot in case she spilled it on herself like that anyways. You know, like...
But I guarantee if it was that hot, it kills me, though. Careful. It's hot.
Right.
That doesn't count anymore, apparently.
Like, you can...
It shouldn't have been that hot. I wasn't paying attention, and it still spilt on me. You telling me careful hot doesn't change the fact that it's hot.
Right. You know. It's a hard decision to make because it's technically you're both at fault.
Once she leaves the store, who's at fault? How you know she didn't mess with the coffee lid? How you know she didn't?
Yeah,
or she went to drop the coffee and then grabbed it wrong. Like,
I guess that's up for jury of her peers to determine.
Our next news: Michigan schools dropped Halloween and Valentine's Day celebrations due to hurt feelings.
Just drop the...
It's common to see kids cry because their costumes and Valentines don't measure up, officials say.
You know, that's... So here's what I used to do, right? And Valentine's. I got everybody a card. Like, everybody in the class got them a card,
Mom Dad would go get to the store and get the box of cards.
Right.
X-Men cards. I went X-Men Valentine's.
It's like, I think we did like 3 years because I was a kid. So it was like, I did different ones each year, whatever.
She was like, top shit.
Maybe some candy.
Like by now, we don't do Valentine's Day. We don't.
I don't know. Like, I just, that way, like, everyone's like, oh, cool, we got cards, some candies. Dope, right? Because, I mean, I wasn't like, nobody liked me, right? So I didn't get like.
You gave yourself one.
I always gave myself one.
I'm loved.
I
love me.
But I was like, fuck, I got a whole box here. I'll just put my name a bunch of times and be like, damn, look at all these, bitch.
Same handwriting.
Same handwriting, right? All the same type of cards. So you like,
I don't care.
The one I just gave y'all, right? Like I took all the extras, I made it,
man, what the mockery is when you used to be in John I, you could send roses to like people in class, and they would come in class and give the roses out.
Oh yeah.
Those poor girls who didn't get roses.
Oh jeez.
But hurt feelings.
I don't know. It's part of life. Like you should probably get used to it now. See, that's the only thing,
I don't
right?
like when people get their feelings hurt, but at the same time, how are you gonna process them?
That's right. You need to.
The world's not nice.
No.
I wish it was. I really do. But the reality is, if your neighbor school person's not a bully, your boss might be a bully. You know how to handle it.
There's always gonna be.
Well, not even with women, if people do the way they treat you, or how you're being treated if you don't learn how to deal with it at a young age.
I'm not and that's right. That's where it becomes hard to distinguish, right?
People shouldn't act that way in the first place. I get that.
Because you say that, right? Like, so it's like, damn, bullying's a real thing. People talk shit and stuff like. So that's where I was always different, right? I got my ass kicked a lot, right?
Further.
So like, to me, talking shit is not bullying.
That goes to a further thing,
right?
Your boss is not gonna kick your ass at work.
Oh, you don't know. You don't know that. That could be a thing that happens. Like, you don't know. Like,
you should deal with it in school.
I'm sure, right. At least you didn't deal with it in school. Now you're getting it now, and now you're just like,
you don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Now you're 30 crying.
Right. Instead of,
You go to your wife and she's like, what kind of man are you?
But that's that kind of toxic shit they talk about, and so that's kind of shit that comes up. Like,
what happened to Truman when you found out his life was a lie?
I don't know. As long as you don't hit me, you're straight. Like, I'm fine.
Well, as you get older, you get words don't mean shit. Like, look at you. Oh, look at you, fucker. Like, you're on the street. I'm driving a car. Like, I'm going to a sign. I
do that shit sometimes too. Right. Well, I was sitting in the car with my wife, and I'll look over and I'll see somebody, and I just, it's how I stay practiced, right? Like, to be honest, like, people don't understand how hard it is to constantly talk shit about everything. It's
so hard.
It's like, it's an art form.
I know, that's what happened when I was watching the Hulk. I was like, the kid's not fucking listening.
Like,
are you really taking the dad's side? Yeah, he's not fucking listening.
Just saying, like, it's. Well, don't break the little kid's arm. I think that's a little.
No, he didn't ask for a beer. Kid's not getting up. He looks like he's dumbfounded. Like, he doesn't fucking understand. Tell his mom.
What's beer?
He didn't go, give me a beer or I'll beat your ass. No, he just said, boy, give me a beer.
I might have had a conversation with him. It was like, yo.
Do I have to ask twice?
Can you go grab me a beer?
He's just sitting there. He's just sitting there.
See, that used to drive me nuts about Zach, right? My little brother, Zach. You'd tell him something. You're like, yo, go grab the trash, right? Put some stuff in it. Bring that over here, right? Because what we used to use the trash cans to, like, put ice in the club, which is gross,
Well, I mean, if it was a clean one.
Well, what we did, we didn't use, like, we had a dedicated can for the ice. Like, it wasn't like we were using it for beer bottles and shit, But you weren't supposed to eat the ice anyway. Don't eat ice at clubs. That's just disgusting.
Ew.
People put their hands in that shit. The bartenders go to grab the beers.
True.
So it's like you shouldn't, it's gross.
Well, you look at him.
Me, what I did is I went into the freezer and grabbed fresh ice.
Well, he just looked at you dumbfounded, didn't he?
No, so you tell him to do a bunch of things and then walk away to go. Like, he would capture it, process it, and then go do it. No, he just didn't know how to, like. So Zach didn't know how to go, okay, cool, or, I'm on it, or yeah, sure, He's just like, rather than say something, he thinks like he get in trouble for saying some shit.
Should have got the beer.
And I'm like, no, you're fine, bro. Just tell me to go. I used to tell him, like, damn it, tell me to go fuck myself, something, right? Like,
something, boy.
Like, just say something to me, right? Like, I don't even care if it's, like, I took a shit, it was brown. Say something.
It was bloody. You might see a doctor.
Whoa, right? Find out what's wrong.
Hurt?
I love my little brother. It used to drive me nuts. Like, and it's not like the shit wouldn't get done. Like, you tell him what to do.
You do it.
Oh man, he's a lot like me. He's like, go get that shit done, get it done. So I'm not like, now I can stop and do what I want to do.
He just looks at you.
Right? He just walk off and go do it. And you're like, fuck, man, say something.
Okay. Not a problem.
Nope. He just go do it, bro. He was a man of very few words.
But that would drive me crazy because you're not acknowledging me.
Right,
like
right.
I said. So, are you gonna go do it, or are you just gonna go take a shit right now?
Right.
I don't know what you're gonna go do. You didn't say okay.
Right. Like I said, he's a man of very few words.
I'm talking to you.
He just go. And that's the thing. Like, the shit would get done. Right. It's not
the
like
first time you didn't think it would probably because you just walked away.
First couple of times I'm like going
you gonna get ice?
Because that's the thing. Like, he was bar backing at the club for me, so I didn't have to fucking do it. Right. Saturday nights I needed help. I couldn't bounce and do the bar back crap because the original bar back, he left. He's like, fuck it. So I had Zach. I was like, Zach, man, you gotta. And I can't watch you either. Like, you gotta do it for him.
I trust that you're gonna do it.
Right. And he always did, right? Boy, he'd work his ass ragged. By the end of the night, he'd be like, fuck, man. Because Saturday nights, especially fight nights, oh, man, you couldn't walk. Everyone's, like, police chief would be there.
Room?
No.
You couldn't shrug your shoulders?
No, not really.
You hit somebody?
And Zach would still do all the bars and shit. Like, through all that. He just kept his head down, Got it done.
Then he quit.
No, we both left.
Oh, it was a package deal.
Yeah. He didn't want to do that shit. Too much crap.
Our next news. Apex Legends' next hero is another Titanfall 2 throwback.
Yeah, they've been talking about Ash for 5 seasons.
Loba. Yeah,
It was a long time ago. That's
season 5.
That's Rampage, or no, that's a Rampart or Sheila. No, Rampart. Yeah.
Crypto Sister. Horizon.
Right, Horizon, Fuse, and then Seer. Right? No. Who am I missing?
Horizon.
I don't know.
Valkyrie.
That's quite Valkyrie. How do you forget about Valkyrie? Because she sucked. All I can do is fly forward at if
she didn't suck. I could get away.
And boy, every time I see a Valkyrie in the sky, I destroy her.
But now we're getting Ash. Did you watch the trailer?
Kinda, sort of. I'll watch it later.
I watched it.
I'm not
The next season trailer drops tomorrow.
I'm not really concerned with the new character because I did so well with Seer this season.
So you do so well with her next season.
I mean, I'm at 777.
Maybe she'll just kill you.
God, I hope so. I just don't know what her skills and stuff will be like. Like they're running
out.
Tomorrow? They're running out of skills and things to.
She teleports.
She teleports.
So we got Loba. This is different. She can bring people with her.
Yeah, but Wraith can, the portable.
But so it's like Loba with Wraith.
So it's like Loba with, we'll see. And then all the tracker stuff between Seer and Bloodhound now.
Bloodhound, Crypto.
Like, maybe give her zip lines like Pathfinder.
Ooh. Maybe she's like Spider-Man.
Right. She's got 2 zip lines.
Maybe she's another fast runner.
Well, she's got metal legs. You saw that? Her legs are basically swords.
It could be like a...
Octane? I can't wait to see how they decided her hitbox with her legs like that.
There's no hitbox.
There's no hitbox. She's just floating.
Telekinetic.
That's right. Just floating over the ground.
All you do is crush
There's supposed to be a new gun, too, the car SMG.
You just crush her, like in Titanfall.
Yeah. The CAR SMG.
Another SMG?
Yeah. So.
You ready for the last news?
Oh, God.
Florida man was seen driving his lawnmower to 7-Eleven.
That shit where was that? That shit happens all the time. People do that shit.
Do not. Well, the other ones about murders and stuff. I didn't want to.
Well, it's like half the time, like the city block, right? Like, so it's like if you go down to Lake Worth and Edward, right there's a gas station right there on, so it's like, and there's a house right behind it.
We just hopped on your lawnmower.
It's like, sir, I've literally gone 3 houses down to the gas station to get some gas for my lawnmower. Okay, you go to other gas stations, right, that are big enough, right, like Speedway across the track or across the way. They pull them off the trailer and are driving them all over the parking lot and stuff. Like,
that's okay,
right? Filling them up and stuff. So you're just basically being a dick. Like, if the guy could have brought it, you're just basically being an asshole.
They just use as what's it called?
If he drove 30 miles, right?
Like the water boy.
Yeah. If he drove 30 miles,
you go to the movie theater across the street as a lawnmower parked in the parking spot.
You know what you do? You just cut people's grasses on the way there.
Make the money to go to the movies.
All right. Yeah. Like, I get it, not using it for like transportation, right? Like if that's his only mode of transportation, you probably shouldn't be a dick and giving him a ticket anyways. If you think about it. I was drinking, so I just drove the lawnmower up.
Oh, yeah. I can't drink and drive a lawnmower. I cut my grass all the time like that.
Right.
They have cup holders.
That's what it's for, is a beer.
Yeah.
It's doing 3.5 miles an hour. Like, come on.
You ran over 3 poodles. What? That was that noise?
4 chihuahuas are dead. No, but...
we used to cut grass.
You're just being an asshole.
We had to drive around the neighborhood on the riding lawnmower.
Bro, my favorite was when I was in Okeechobee. The owner of the property that we rented from.
Yeah.
He had a riding lawnmower in the back.
So you had to cut the grass?
Oh man, I used to just pull that bitch out, back it out, do the whole. Take me about an hour, because I'd want to like
back.
make sure. My back was killing me.
Do you have a beer?
No, I normally some iced tea or some lemonade, some brisk tea. It's probably way back hurt. You know, smoke a blunt right around.
Well,
you know,
not shaking.
That's it.
People look at you weird too. Then they're like, "How is he riding a lawnmower?"
It's like he's so massive.
I got that big one, like ah.
No. I think that one I'd probably smack myself in the stomach stopping it all the time.
You can't stop.
Can't stop. I just have to keep going now.
Stand up to the top.
Oh gosh, so fat. I went to a buffet the other day and they charged me double.
No, they did not.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I swear to God, she had to go back and say something.
The Chinese buffet?
No, I think it was Golden Corral. It was,
With family?
Yeah. With family?
Yeah, who'd you go with?
No, just me and my wife.
Doesn't sound like you two.
We've been trying.
Don't do anything.
We've been trying to do more things together because I'm a good husband. She wants to do things.
So 10 o'clock at night? I
Thought
you guys were working.
We did for a little bit. That's not the point.
Yeah, you were working.
The point is he charged me twice.
He said something?
Yeah.
Did they say something?
Well, it's supposed to be like $34, 15 for each person.
And
it was 54. And
like,
I thought about that. I'm like, that's not the price, right? Because we'll just go home and I'll make an egg sandwich. Like,
what'd they say?
It's just, when the manager noticed, he's like, oh, well, yeah. The first lady tried to fight. It's like, no, it's just the breakdown. It's like, yeah, but the breakdown says 2 and 1, which makes 3. And I get he's large, but there's only one of he.
You can't charge him by the way.
Right, they were charging
3 of you.
The worst part is I don't even like. There are people go have 10 6 plates, 10 6 10. Yeah, having a stroke.
And you're like 3.
9 10 11 plates. Right. I had a salad.
Oh God.
I had some meatloaf and mashed potatoes, right? Because I like meatloaf that I don't have to cook. And right, and then I believe
sliced pizza.
No, I had some the little sliced up bourbon chicken, right?
That's good.
Piece of fish, I try a little bit of a few things, and then some carrot cake for dessert.
And they charged you twice.
Right.
Why the guy next to you?
Oh man, he had a stack of fucking.
Has been here since 10 a.m.
Little skinny guy. I swear to God, right?
Did you look over?
Oh man, plates were like this high. I'm like, Jesus fuck.
There's his family. Did you have China rice cooking last night?
No, we just had a salad. Some steak salad.
Okay, steak salad. That's good.
Well, some of the thin steaks, some salad, some eggs, some tomato, some green stuff. It was delicious.
Salad.
Yeah.
That's good. So he had an appetizer.
Hey, it's good for you.
Bob says salad means food's coming.
That's how.
All right. Before we end everything, what are the top 3 things on your bucket list?
Ooh.
Or top 2. Or 1.
That's a
toughie.
That's a lot,
3's a lot.
Own a Trans Am, own a '57 Chevy, and and work. Yeah, open a body shop.
Oh man,
garage.
Mine's traveling. I have to do the different drive-ins, or leave the country, go to like Europe.
We'd all like you to leave the country, Josh.
Europe won't let me in.
Europe won't. Europe's like, nope. We've seen your show. No, we don't want you here, Josh.
Have a child.
Right. Have a child. God, please, no.
Maybe
a second, Josh.
Get married to a woman.
That's all the time we have today.
One more. Batman or Superman? Who would win?
Neither. They'd probably kill each other. Superman's old regular man. Get his ass kicked all the old ways.
Get his ass whooped.
Bro,
Batman's always saving him.
He's got to have something to overcome. No, that's fucking stupid.
I think Superman,
make the show 2.5 minutes like it would be, right? Villain shows up, villain gets his ass whooped by Superman.
End of story.
End of story.
He kills the villain.
Right. Right. Superman pops villain's head like a zit. Have you seen that new Invincible on Amazon Prime?
No, I saw Injustice.
No, watch Invincible.
It's a comic book that came in. It looks like the guy that played
the Superman character is fucking Superman.
But he looks like J. Jonah Jameson from
but
Spider-Man.
Yes, so that's right. He looks like J. Jonah Jameson.
And he's teaching his son how to be a hero or some shit.
Yes and no.
He's whooping ass.
He's yes, right. Like he just walks up and pops a dude's head. Like
have you seen The Boys though? He laser beamed everybody.
Watch Invincible. It's Superman is Superman. I feel like Homelander's punk ass. He'd probably still be old regular man. Catch some hands too. Yeah, he's kind of, definitely needs his safe space.
Well, Injustice was we saw Superman who wasn't a bitch. He went straight through Grundy.
Batman had
first it was holding Robin's head. Grundy, the big fucking dead guy.
Mm-hmm.
Superman just cut his hand off with his laser beams. Like nothing. Then they killed fucking Nightwing. They killed the Flash.
See, that's normally where that universe starts to fuck up, right?
Joker killed everybody.
In most of the Justice League universes, right, when that world's Flash dies.
You get the Injustice League.
Right. The moral compass goes out the door.
Except for Batman.
Well, right, except for Batman.
Because Batman believes anyone that has powers could.
Right. Batman will kick your dick in the dirt all day long because that's what he likes to do.
He did. He was stopping everybody.
Yeah.
What's it called in the movie? He brought Cyborg to his knees. He's like, how is that possible? And they went back in his memories. He put nanobites in him the first day they met. Just in case.
Right.
He's like, what the hell? That's the day we met. He's like, yeah. I don't know you. Look at Batman, don't give a shit, bro.
You tell me I've had a weapon this whole time?
Oh, there was that movie when they got a hold of Batman's files and they stopped all the Justice League members. But Batman. And then they found out who did who would come up with all this. And Batman's like, oh, that was me.
Right, yeah.
I mean, that was you.
I came up with how to stop all of you.
And he goes, how come there wasn't one for you? He goes, there is. You guys.
Well, that's right. Because it'd take all of you to do it.
I didn't make it. Because they tried to alter it to kill them. His was to incapacitate them.
Right.
He's like, how could you do this, Bruce? He goes, because you guys scare the crap out of me.
Have you?
Once if something bad happens or something takes over.
You seen Superman and Wonder Woman bounce fucking Grundy around? You'd fucking want, bro. They beat the life out of him. I'm like, dude, Batman, I can't do that. I can't take that shit.
But this little piece of rock will bring your ass down.
That's right.
Bro, he made a scenario to take away.
Grabbed a number 2 pencil, fucking Green Lantern.
Hal Jordan's confidence, so he wouldn't be the Green Lantern.
He devised a way to talk shit to.
Yes.
See, I'd be fine. Old Hal'd come around, I'd start talking shit. He'd be, in a corner.
When they rebooted it with the new Justice League or whatever it was, Batman just grabbed his ring. He's like, "What is this?
Give me this."
I bet he uses some kind of willpower, doesn't it? He's like, "How the hell did you get my
Green Lantern bat?"
Batman.
All right, I'm tired of you today. We're at an hour 6.
That's it. That's all the time we have for today.
I'm done with you.
Thank you for watching.
Don't forget that we have audio version on Anchor FM, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasting needs. That's really just my favorite bit. And also that it is October, which means it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month again. And our charity for this month is the National Breast Cancer Foundation, which the link will be down below.
Don't forget that we go live every Tuesday morning between the hours of 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. and Wednesday nights between the hours of 4 p.m. and 6 p.m.
for our talk show After Dark.
In Australia. So, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay tuned. Usually he says toodaloo.
Oh, toodaloo, motherfuckers. Sorry.